Hi, I'm Beck and Food's My Life. I am so excited to be sharing with you today a Sri Lankan street food treat, which is a family favourite, and it's coming right up. So in this video, I'm making Sri Lankan pan rolls. These consist of a curried mince, which is wrapped in a thin pancake into the shape of little rolls, then dipped into egg and breadcrumb and deep fried. Oh my. My Auntie Sandy is an absolute expert at making pan rolls. So today I'm using my mum's mince curry recipe, my Auntie Sandy's pancake recipe, and I'm also going to use some tips from this cookery book, which was my great grandmother's Sri Lankan daily news cookery book. This book alone, this is 65 years old, this book, and it's made its way to me, handed down to me. You know, it may be tattered and torn, but I cherish this book dearly. This dish does take some effort, but the outcome is so worth it. Now, the first thing you need to do though is you need to make a batch of my mince curry recipe. So if you haven't seen my video on mince curry, you need to check that one out first and make yourself a batch. So the first step is we're going to make the pancake batter. Now to do this, you need 2.5 cups of plain flour sifted into a large mixing bowl. To that I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 2 eggs. But mind you, I have actually separated 1 egg white from here, and I've put that in a separate bowl which we're going to use later. So here I've actually got 2 egg yolks and 1 egg white. Now we're going to add 1.25 litres of milk. I know that does seem like a lot of milk, but this batter is going to thicken. So what we need to do is, with some electric beaters, start on low, just to incorporate those ingredients. And then we're just going to keep on beating until all these ingredients are thoroughly mixed. Okay, so I have been beating that for 2 minutes, and I stopped once just to scrape down the sides of the bowl. So now I'm just going to cover that with plastic wrap, and I'm going to keep this, well, you need to keep this batter for at least 1 hour, but I'm going to keep this probably for about a good 4 or 5 hours, because I'm not going to make this now until the afternoon. Now that batter has been sitting there for about 3.5 to 4 hours. That's just perfect. Now remember that 1 egg white from before? That 1 egg white now I've put into a mixing bowl, and before I even use the batter, I'm going to whisk these egg whites until they are stiff. So I'll do that now. So my egg whites are now nice and stiff. I'm adding them into my pancake batter. And the reason why we do this is so that our pancakes are going to end up nice and light. So we need to fold this now into the batter. This might take a little while, but just persist until all these floating little lumps of egg white are completely incorporated into the mix. Okay, so I have finished folding in the egg white. There were a few persistent little bits of egg white that just didn't want to fold in. So at the end now I'm using a whisk just to make sure that there are no bumps in my batter. Okay, now I've got quite the production line happening here. Let me explain. I've got a ladle that I'm going to use to put my batter into my pan. Now I'm using a small non-stick fry pan, which I find really handy because that becomes the perfect shape of my pancake. I've got some olive oil spray, which I'm using to help the pancakes not stick. I've got the mince curry here that I'm going to be putting in my pancakes as I roll them up. I've got a tray ready to place my pancakes on, and I have a little bit of an egg wash here as well to help the pancake mixture stick together so none of that lovely filling can escape. My heat is not all the way up high, it's a medium high heat, which I find works really well. So just a bit of oil on my pan. And some butter. Now we're not going to flip the pancake, okay? We're only going to cook it on one side and then we're going to transfer it over to my board over here. Okay, so I can see that's cooked around the edges. It's coming away pretty easy from the pan. So I'm going to slide that onto my board and I'm going to fill it now. Place some of my mince curry in the middle or towards one side, like so. Just also make sure at this stage that you don't leave any curry leaves in the mince because we don't want to be eating any of those. Roll it up, fold in the edges, using some of that egg wash to stick it, and there we go, our first little pan roll. So pop that on the tray and continue the process. So in the end, I made a total of 43 pan rolls. The next step is to dip them in egg and breadcrumb, and then we're going to, after that, fry them. So I've just whisked about 3 eggs in my little bowl. I may need to add some more to that later. And today I'm choosing to use panko crumbs just to give it that extra crunch, but you can use regular breadcrumbs, they're fine. So one at a time, take your rolls, dip them in your egg, in your breadcrumb, and place them on your tray. I'm going to go ahead and do these all now, and then we'll be ready to fry. In my little saucepan here, I have melted a whole block of super fry, or lard if you like. I like to use that because it adds a lot of flavour, but it's completely up to you. You can use vegetable oil if you want to, coconut oil if you want to. So first I've brought my oil up to heat, quite a high heat, and now I'm going to add 1 or 2 curry rolls at a time and fry. Now, we don't have to cook it very long. Everything inside that roll is already cooked. It's just about browning those crumbs on the outside. So it's all about aesthetics, making it look really yummy and inviting. So just until they're a nice brown colour, keep rolling them. Oh, that's wonderful. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and fry these and then I'll show you the outcome. And here is the finished product. Pan rolls. Such a delicacy in my family. Usually we cook this for celebrations, special occasions. And now I have shared the recipe with all of you, which makes me so happy. Taste test time, of course, my favourite. Now I'm using a nice tomato chutney to go with this, a chili sauce, even a good old regular tomato sauce works really well. Let's see. Mmm. 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 Oh my God. I'm so proud of myself. Nana, I bet you're really proud of me. Auntie Sandy's gonna be proud of me too. That is stunning. I can't believe I did that. And you can do it too. It's such a taste sensation. I can't really describe it. I mean, that killer mince curry to start with, and then encased in that beautiful soft silky pancake. It's just awesome. And of course that crunch on the outside. So good. I know it takes a while to make, but when you taste this, you'll understand it is all worth it. So if you'd like to have a go at making Sri Lankan pan rolls, just check out the description box below where you'll find the link to my website. Find the recipe from there, go ahead, give it a go. You won't be disappointed. Don't forget, if you like my videos, give me a big thumbs up, like them, share them, or better still, subscribe to my channel so you always know what I'm up to in the kitchen. And I'll see you next time.